Good morning, George. We're going to interview you today regarding your book, Eye of the Hunter.
Thank you.
What made you become an author?
Throughout my life, there's been many episodes which some I've enjoyed, some I haven't, and they stayed in my mind right until I retired. And when I retired and had more time up my sleeve, all these thoughts came to the fore, and it sort of encouraged me, rightly or wrongly, to write.
Okay. What was the driving force behind this book?
Eye of the Hunter is actually the first novel that I published, and it probably covers 80% of my life. There's a lot of true facts in this book, but the main thing was my childhood in Scotland, in the Scottish mountains, joining the parachute regiment, becoming a high managerial position in Australia, travelling the world non-stop, meeting many, many nice people, and all of those things stored up in my mind. And when I retired, they just forced me to sit down and write. It was the only way I could get them out of my head. And once I wrote them, they vanished.
Wow. Where did the story behind the novel originate?
It originates in the early 1920s, but it's actually my life from the very early 1940s, when as a youngster, say 9, 10, I used to hitchhike a lot, and I used to camp in the Grampians in the mountains in Scotland, and I did become very much a bit of a loner, but very appreciative of the nature, of the world of the nature, of the animals, of the birds, and they just stayed in my head and recollected every time I sat down and thought, these thoughts came back. I just had to get them out of my head. So Eye of the Hunter started virtually with my life. When I joined the parachute regiment, when I left the parachute regiment and came to Australia, when I became a top marketing official with Amcor and travelled the world. I was more out of Australia than in Australia. So I had lots and lots of good memories, and that helped me to write these books.
Were you happy with the first draft?
The first draft was a bit of a jumble, actually. I think if I remember rightly, the first draft was 850 pages.
Mm-hmm.
But I had a couple of very good friends in the publishing industry in Britain, and they helped me a lot. So we gradually cut Eye of the Hunter down from about 850 to about 400. And they taught me that when you're writing novels, the things you have to be very careful about, and anybody who reads novels regularly will know what I'm talking about. You can put wallpaper into novels, you can embellish stories, you can spread stories, you can add pages and pages and pages of descriptive words that actually do nothing for the story. So I was taught very early on that every word you write, the reader must want to read the next one, and that every word you write must have an effect on the story. So my books are very much fact, very much fast-paced. A lot of my readers say once they start a book, they can't put it down.
Excellent.